You are likely surrounded by more food than any human in history, yet your body feels more tired and depleted than ever before. We count calories, track macros, and obsess over superfoods, but we are still fighting a losing battle against fatigue and weight gain. Now, look back 30,000 years. Imagine an ancient human living in a world without grocery stores, delivery apps, or a single gram of processed sugar. They were lean, they were relentless, and they were perfectly adapted to a planet that wanted them dead. Was their diet actually the secret to human health, or have we spent decades chasing a nutritional myth? The ancient human diet was never just one single menu. It changed entirely based on where you lived. An ancient human living in the frozen tundra of Siberia ate almost entirely animal fat and heavy meat because no plants grew in the ice. A completely different ancient human in coastal Africa relied on shellfish gathered from tide pools. They dug up tough roots and tubers from the dirt and gathered wild seasonal berries. Our ancestors were master opportunists. They ate whatever they could get their hands on to survive the day. This extreme flexibility is the main reason our species survived while others died out. Fossil records and isotope analysis of ancient bones give us a clear picture. While they hunted large animals, hunting megafauna was high risk. You could easily get injured or killed by a massive beast. Because of this danger, the majority of their daily calories likely came from plants. They gathered hundreds of varieties of wild fruits and nuts and seeds that have long since vanished from the earth. Modern farming has bred most of these original wild plants out of existence. These ancient plants were incredibly tough to eat, but they were packed with fiber and essential micronutrients. Gathering these plants took hours of hard physical labor every single day. Women and elders provided a massive amount of these reliable daily calories. When it came to meat, they did not just eat the prime cuts. Early humans were often scavengers before they became true apex predators. They would find a carcass left behind by a giant saber-toothed cat. The predators would eat all the easy muscle meat. But early humans had a secret weapon. They used heavy carved stones to smash open the animal bones. They extracted the rich bone marrow inside. Bone marrow is incredibly calorie-dense. It is packed with fat and nutrients perfectly designed to grow a massive human brain. They also ate all the organ meats like the liver and heart. These parts are full of vital vitamins that we just throw away today. The invention of cooking changed the human diet forever. Cooking food made it much softer. It essentially pre-digested the food outside the body. This meant ancient humans spent much less energy chewing and digesting. This unlocked thousands of extra calories and is the reason our brains grew so large and our teeth grew so small. Food availability was also heavily seasonal. Ancient humans lived in a constant cycle of feast and famine. When a large animal was killed, it was a massive community feast. They ate as much as physically possible because there were no refrigerators to store leftovers. When food was scarce, they simply fasted. They might go days without a heavy meal and kept moving. This extreme volatility forced the human body to adapt over thousands of years. Our ancestors developed amazing metabolic flexibility. Their bodies could easily switch back and forth between two states. They could burn carbohydrates from wild summer berries and then seamlessly switch to burning stored body fat during a harsh winter. This biological state is almost entirely missing in our modern culture. Today, we snack constantly from morning until night. We rarely give our bodies a chance to burn stored fat. We are always running on quick energy. We feel like we are struggling today because of what we are missing. Ancient humans consumed a massive diversity of plants throughout the year, while the average person today eats a tiny fraction of that variety. Our modern diet is incredibly high in refined carbohydrates and very low in dense bioavailable nutrients. The difference between the two lifestyles is massive. It is not that ancient humans were eating magic superfoods. It is that their food was much more nutrient-dense per calorie. A handful of wild-gathered berries and raw nuts has vastly more actual nutrition than a massive bag of modern potato chips. People love to say ancient humans were perfectly healthy. They certainly did not suffer from modern issues like type 2 diabetes or heart disease, but their everyday lives were incredibly harsh. We cannot ignore the brutal reality of their environment. They suffered from extreme dental wear. Their food was constantly covered in dirt and sand and grit. Chewing wild roots slowly ground their teeth down to the exposed nerves. They faced the constant daily risk of foodborne parasites. Eating undercooked meat or drinking water from a stream could be deadly. The threat of total starvation was always right around the corner waiting for them. The ancient human diet was optimized for raw survival. It was built for a dangerous world where you had to move constantly just to get your next meal. You had to run and climb and dig and carry heavy loads just to eat. We are currently living in a massive biological mismatch. Our bodies are perfectly adapted for a world of extreme scarcity. They are built for high physical activity and problem-solving in the wild. But we are living in a modern world of extreme caloric abundance. We sit at desks all day long. We drive cars instead of walking. We tap a screen, and thousands of calories are delivered right to our front door. Consider the long-term cost of this lifestyle. When we eat highly processed foods, we are not just gaining weight, we are essentially confusing our ancient genetic programming. Our cells are sending signals that they are starving for specific minerals that just are not in our food. This leads to constant cravings and fatigue. We are feeding our bodies empty calories while our biology keeps asking for the complex nutrients of the past. It is like putting low-grade fuel into a high-performance engine. It might run for a while, but it will eventually break down. Was the ancient human diet actually healthier? In terms of nutrient density, it absolutely was. In terms of avoiding modern metabolic disease, it was far superior to the modern diet. But in terms of safety and consistency, it was a constant, dangerous struggle. We do not need to go back to hunting mammoths to be healthy. We do not need to give up modern medicine and sleep in caves. But we can learn from their ancient patterns. We should focus on nutrient density in our own meals. We can embrace a higher variety of whole plants instead of processed boxes. We do not need to fear the occasional period of hunger or fasting. Human evolution has not changed our basic biology. Our DNA is largely the exact same as those ancient hunter-gatherers. Evolution has just completely changed our dinner plates. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about how our ancient ancestors evolved to survive against the odds, hit the subscribe button for the next episode.